Welcome to KRL.
In your screen at the one time. Oh no! Look at this! Harvey Norman looking to make moves on Mighty Murph, but I reckon Barnes is going to make him pay. And he sticks it down the moment. Can't do it, almost sends Wilco off, but Wilco manages to keep his foot in the championship. But the new boy up to P5. Look at that, he's trying to break the slipstream on the main straight. But he is under pressure here. Great effort from Static Hats first, second, third, fourth, and fifth all together. Speed's got a run on him. Is he going to make a win down into turn one? I reckon he is. Down the inside, he's basically fully sending it. The final corner, he will take P7 I reckon, but Jimbo and Rob Dog, he's going to get his first points of the year as well. Who's going to take?
It's time to go racing for KRL.
Yellow flag is set on.
How good was that? A hot lap of this Silverstone circuit here. Good morning, good afternoon, or good evening, wherever you're watching right around the world. And we are back for another season of KRL. We were back last night for Tier 2, and tonight the Tier 1 boys come out to play here at this Silverstone circuit here for round 1 of 10 as we begin a new championship. Boy, oh boy, it's going to be exciting. Voodoo is up and about, and boy, let's have a look at this. 12 people, 12 beautiful people out there watching this stream. BK, hello to you. Good to have you back on the streams. Nemo, Sparky, and Bullmeister says Matterford for a podium. That is a bold prediction already. Some big boys out tonight, that's for sure, Voodoo. And I welcome my co-commentators tonight. We've got a new face and a couple of familiar faces as well. The first I'm going to introduce is Jason Wilkinson. New season, Wilco. You're back on track, mate. How are you?
Yeah, we're looking good. Got some views already, so yeah, it's going to be a good night. Should be quite intense. I'm expecting a nice tight quali and a very tight race. So it's a bit cloudy at the moment, so lap time should be good.
And alongside us as well, making his commentary debut. No better time to make your commentary debut. It's the Wolf, the big man. Wolfie, how are you tonight?
Mate, I'm very well. Long time watcher, first time commentator. I'm very happy to be here. Thank you very much.
Absolute pleasure to have you along, and Voodoo's along as well, but he's taking a non-talking role tonight. We don't have to pay him, but he will be in the comments, keeping an eye on things. That is great. Wolfie, hello to you. Nemo as well. Trevor, my dog, with his homeboy lingo, hashtag Nemo Nation. Voodoo, great to have everyone along. Sparky, he'll be hoping for some OGT magic yet again as Voodoo's in the Shadow Realm. All right. But let's have a look. We're looking at Mighty Murph now at the moment, and this is going to be interesting. We've got a few cars out on track. Always helps to set a time early in this session. Wilco, we've got some cloud and a chance of meatballs and some rain tonight by the looks of it.
Yes, as I just almost drifted through the last corner, but yeah, so I said hopefully we'll get into the 201s. But yeah, I'm starting the hot lap now, so we'll talk to you soon.
There we go. We'll leave.
Sorry, mate. Practice, Wilco was doing 202s, Barters did 203s, Santa 203, Glenn 203, 203s, 204s, so a couple of seconds amongst the top 8 in the practice, pre-race practice, so it's looking tight.
Always a good idea. That was my next question about what sort of times we might see around this Silverstone track, but these boys, 204 there from Prince Albert. 204.8, but we're going to see times a lot quicker than that, aren't we, Wolfie, before the session's finished tonight?
Mate, last night's GT3, people were lapping, the top guys were lapping at almost 2 dead. So the GT3 Porsches Cup cars haven't got nearly as much of the tech as the GT3 standard, but these guys are extra good, so I think someone's going to hit the 2-0 mark easy, I think, tonight. Probably Wilco. 2
flat. We'll wait and see. We've got our money on Wilco. As Nemo says, I'm off to bed. Have a good one. We're only about 9 minutes into the stream, Nemo. It's a little bit rude of you, but anyway, thanks for coming, Nemo. Just watch it again tomorrow morning to see the results. Take care, Nemo. That's for sure. But we're going to see 2 minutes flat, like you said, Wolfie. And I've got to say that we might, who knows, we might even dip into the 1 minute 59s. Before it's out. Still 15 minutes remaining in this session. 13 people watching, if you don't mind. And we do have, we'll stick with this hot lap of Wilco's. You can see Albert there has 1.1 seconds. So only 3 drivers have set times at the moment. Matterford, 0.5 of a second off of pole position as the marshal waving that yellow flag. I don't think it's for Matterford there, but Nemo, what was the point? BK is up and about. And... we've got a moment, have we, Wolfie? Is something...
Murphy's up, left to the top, the 203.1.
There we go, Mighty Murph, and, well, it looks to be... There is a yellow flag out now for Mighty Murph. Has he spun near the pit lane there, has he? He's got it, he's managed to get it back in the right direction. No, he's back in the pit lane now as Wilco. These times are tumbling, my man Wolfie, 202.856. And I still reckon that's about 2.5, maybe 3 seconds off what we're going to see here tonight. But as we'll let Wilco concentrate and go on another hot lap, as you can see there, 3rd for Prince Albert, 4th for the big unit Glenn, and then it's Barters, the hot lap around this track that we saw at the top of our show. And then it's Matterford in 6th, and the rest of the drivers yet to set a time. Now, Wilco, you do not have to respond. Just nod instead of saying anything. But we're going to go to the... we've got a special video which showcases the teams and drivers for the new season. Wilco, do you reckon we could sneak that in whilst we're in qualifying?
And their stats from season 1 too. So they had a pole, had a win, and just their best finish in standings of last season. So yeah, we'll throw to that while a little bit of a cool time in quali, and yeah.
Let's go. We've got a bit of downtime in this session. BK, we'll get back to your question in a moment. But let's take a look at the drivers, the teams, and some stats for the new KRL season. How good was that? And that editing absolutely on point from our man Jason Wilkinson. Full credit to you. Just joking off air there. Wolfie looks a little bit like that Year 8 science PowerPoint presentation I did. I think I got a B+ for that. But anyway, back to qualifying. Less than 12 minutes remaining. Now, there were some questions. That's right, there were some questions here. BK says, this might be a question for you, Wolfie, and everybody else out there in the chat. Who are some of the guys we should be looking out for this season, Wolfie?
Well, Wilco for a start, because he's obviously last year's champion. But the last practice race we had, I believe you had Delhi Belly too, my friend. I hope you recover for that. We did Zolder and Barters, Manafort and Albert cleaned the pack up. So I think they're who you should be looking at. And considering that Barters and Albert are on the same team, that is a real possibility that they're going to run away with it. But I think everybody's going to have trouble with this. They're not quite as slick as the normal GT3s because this doesn't have traction control. There's not as many setup issues that you can have. So it's a fairly bare bones, still a GT3. But I would suggest that the Barters, Albert, Mattisford, and obviously Wilco. And look, being a King, being my teammate in Tier 2, he's good. Everyone here has got a talent. And as long as everybody can get through the first few quarters, anybody's got a chance, I believe.
There we go. Keep it nice and clean. Good close racing. Thank you for that, Wolfie. Hopefully that answers your question. BK, great to have you along. And Voodoo as well, just answering that question as well. Not restricting any drivers at all. Every single one. Well done, Wilco. Sparky says, that's great, Trev. Team info, fantastic stuff. Just send your thanks to Wilco as well. But we're taking a look, getting back to the on-track action here, Wolfie. Yellow flag out there in one of the sectors, but that's clear now. We've got less than 10 minutes to go in this session. So we're seeing times 2 minutes 02.856. This man currently on provisional pole position, but not quite as fast as what we were expecting to see, Wolfie. That could be down to the track conditions, although they are optimum at the moment. So we're looking for these guys to go a little bit quicker in the final 9 minutes of qualifying.
I think the cloud cover might have something to do with it. I know Wilco was saying that the track feels grippier, and I've just been watching, I've been running through a few here. Albert he's probably on his outlap there, but everybody's looking pretty stuck to the ground here at the moment. But I would suggest that the cloud cover might be having something to do with that. But having said that, the top 10 are within 2 seconds, so it's good so far.
Very close, and that's what we want to see, and so does everyone else at home. Anyone's game, that's for sure. BK, love to see it. V for Voodoo, the Nigerian prince who wants your bank account details. Send them to voodoo at nigerianhotmail.olatunjo.com. But he says, Senna, yet to set a lap time. Ayrton Senna is now out of the pits, and he is yet to set a time along with Voodoo, of course, who's not setting a time, and Wolfie, who's these two boys alongside me in the commentary box. So 11 drivers tonight. We are missing a few. We did mention that off air, Wolfie, so it's a long season, but...
It is. I mean, OGT, he's running solo tonight. And happy birthday to Kilroy Jr., by the way. Who else is running solo tonight? I think Bing is going to be running solo tonight. Don't think either Glenn's going to be running solo tonight. So there's a few teammates that have been able to show up due to family commitments and work commitments and such like, which is always a thing. But I don't think that's really going to matter. These guys will be in it to win it. And I think the team thing, while being important, will not be as important as getting out there and kicking some serious backside.
That's just how we like it too. And Voodoo, thank you for that. Voodoo, just keeping an eye on those comments. Happy birthday, Kilroy. 1 mandatory pit stop tonight, 4 tyres. Sparky wanting to know what the format is for tonight. Thank you for that, Voodoo. Also love seeing Wilco run the number 1 this season. Big fan of the defending champ using the number 1, something that Lewis Hamilton doesn't do, of course. But Sparky says, thanks, Voodoo. I don't need to read each one of those comments out. But 14, that's right, 1-4 for the first race of Tier 1, the new championship, Wolfie. 14 beautiful people out there. I hope you're all social distancing and wearing your mask. I can't keep up, can you, Wolfie? Do you have to wear your mask? Do you have to not? I don't know.
For certain parts of my job, I have to wear a mask at times, but other keep my distance from people anyhow.
Okay, maybe it's just a Victorian thing, but there we go, Glenn. This is getting very close at the top now, Wolfie, if you don't mind. 202.8, but they're close. They're getting closer to Wilco, aren't they, now with 6 minutes to go in this session?
They really are pulling up. So we had the top 10 at 1.8, and now 1.4 behind Wilco at the top. What we're looking at here, top 7, not within a second. No, that's all changed around now because Wilco's gone through and just blitzed at 202.235.
And
so
boy,
he's not here to.
Well, Wilco's just said, how about piss off? I'm going to set a 202. 202.232. That sounds like something that the great Richie Benno would say, but the wrong sport, isn't it, Wolfie? God bless you, Richie, who's watching down on us from above. But Mighty Murph looks like he's on the pace in this Porsche here. Of course, number 51, used by Mighty Murph for quite a number of years. And but geez, I tell you what,
livery. Loves his pink livery.
Loves the pink, the purple, the bone, the beige, you name it. But I tell you what, these some of these drivers are taking a little bit too much curb, aren't they? Through Maggots and Beckett's, they're just flirting with those corner cuts and those penalties, aren't they, at the moment? But I guess these drivers, they're tier 1, the best of the best, aren't they, Wolfie? They're going to try and use every bit of track possible here.
The Porsche it's a lot easier to deal with the curves, except for the big yellow, the sleepy policeman yellow curves, as the F1 guys call it. They seem to handle the curves a little bit better. However, too much of it, you're going to lose tyre pressure, and then you're going to lose traction, and then it's all sort of going to be a little bit of an issue. I think also too, tyre wear is going to be a big issue here because the left-hand side takes a hell of a beach. Wilco said, like, the left-hand side takes a torch, and the left-hand rear, in particular, because there's a lot of right-hand corners, and then the acceleration early through the apex or out of the apex, being that left-hand rear, having to get on hold of it. So they're going to have to be looking after their tyres.
It's all about looking after those tyres. Tyre wear, like you said, on a track like this. Plenty of high-speed corners, of course, so that might be an issue. But less than 4 minutes remaining in this session now. And boy, the chat is up and about. Bullermeister just doing the little dab emoji there. Hello to you. Luke says, send it, boys. Welcome to you. And Luke, thank you. Nice stream today, mate. Thanks for that, Luke. Great to have your company along with everybody else. And Voodoo just saying, Wolfie, amazing addition to the commentary box. If it wasn't amazing enough, Wolfie, you're just adding to that. Off to a good start here, and we're not even through qualifying, mate.
He might be Silverstone, mate. He might be Silverstone.
Yes, that was some of my best work, Wolfie, and just
I've stolen it.
Wasn't even he wasn't even on the air. But anyway, thank you for that. Anyway, you used it wisely. Nice though. But Mighty Murph, boy, he's still 9/10 off of pole position. I've got the bloody camera stuck on Mighty Murph, and Cart Dude third. Looks like Wilco's coming out for another go. This was a bit of a
Sorry, Glenn, go over the top of you there. Glenn Unit is getting up it as best he can. He's all over the place, so he's trying to get a hold of that pole as well.
He's, as Luke wants to know whether Wolfie can give us a howl. Not too sure whether it's dark enough yet outside. Certainly not where I am. But Glenn, he is looking absolutely on it, isn't he, on this lap?
All over. Oh, nice tuck in.
No,
make this work. Oh, little. Up we go now, depending on how close he gets to this sausage. Nice and tight through here.
Here we go, nice and tight from that last corner. Does he improve? I don't know. He might have improved by a fraction there. As Luke says, it's not a full moon, Wolfie, but I'm sure we'll get something. We'll not a full moon. No, that's right. Thank you for that, Bullermeister. But
if it was a full moon, I'd have to get new blades for my Manscaped. So I'm happy that it isn't.
Yes, just still got the 2.0, haven't upgraded to the 3.0. Just don't see.
You haven't got the 3.0?
No, I just don't need the light on it. I can't see the no real advantages over the 2.0, but I'm digressing now, Wolfie. You've got me off track as Big Dick Johnson, I think that's Jonathan Charles, says sausage curbs or sleeping policemen or sleeping sausages or whatever you want to call them. Big hello to you, and hopefully you can get over whatever it is that was wrong with you. I've totally forgotten it now, but it was something to do with his feet. But it is great to have you with us here tonight. Less than 2 minutes.
My teammate. How you going, Jono?
It's good, just...
I'm flying the flag high there. Yeah, sorry, I just want to butt in. Now I'm going back to quality up now.
Wilco just coming out of nowhere there.
Do whatever you want, Wilco. Make it yours, mate.
There we go, but 2:02.2. So Murph's getting closer, Wolfie, but still nobody close enough to our man Wilco here.
Glenn's on another lap. Cardi is just about to go on stay on Cardi for a moment. He's really cut that fine. Nope, he's not got any better.
And
Senna's coming into the last straight. Oh no, it looks like he slowed down a lot there. 25 seconds ago. I don't think anybody's going to top that, mate. I think that is done.
So I can see from the track map there, Wolfie, we've got 30-something seconds. So I think one or two drivers possibly are going to get through here, aren't they, to start a final lap, but I think that might be it. As Jonathan Charles, Big Dick Johnson says, Vilcor has a little sausage. That's a bit harsh. And BK says, what does the number... We've got a question. BK says, what does the number in brackets next to the driver's name mean? He says, I'm new to Assetto Corsa, and so sorry if it's a silly question. Well, there's no silly questions here. What does that mean? Is that what their something to do with their internet connection, isn't it, Wolfie? I'm not too sure.
I believe so, yeah. And sometimes it's a little green line. It shows the ping rate, I believe, is usually what the deal is there. But if you watch it without those names on, it'll make your vision a whole lot better. You'll be able to see the cars a lot more as well. But I believe that's it. I could very well be wrong. I finished at the wrong start-finish line in last night's race, so really not that much of an expert about what's going on.
No, look, I tell you what, I got totally mixed up myself. I think we used the old school pit lane here, don't we? That they used to use many years ago, but before they changed back in 2010 or 2011. But that is the end of qualifying. As Sparky says, Spark Regis saying, so easy to watch my man OG and listen to Trev's great commentary. You're too nice, brother. Thank you. As Luke says, Trev's nickname is Horse. Yes, good stuff. Buller says, it's the ping dude. Just good to see, ping. Everyone's pinging in the chat. Cheers, lads. Thanks for that, BK. Watch out for the Pinger King. Oh, I want you to play with my Binger Ping. And, we'll just leave it right there for the singing. But we are done in qualifying here, Wolfie. That is the final order. Wilco went even quicker into the 201s, and he's on pole position.
That is fantastic. He was a 202.47 in the practice, so he's picked up half a second in this quali. I imagine it might have something to do with the fuel. So hopefully these guys have got it sorted out for race fuel, and they've got it in their trim for the race, because it's going to be long. So we've got a 45-minute race. If there is a safety car, the drivers are now allowed to go in and do their normal pit stop, their mandatory pit stop. So you could find that there'll be, if and when
bathroom break, be back in a second.
Pit stop comes, they will sort themselves out in the pits along there. And I've just blue screened. I'll be back any moment now.
Don't you worry about that. Speaking of being back in a moment, we've got the race, 45-minute race, as you said, Wolfie. We're going to go to our beautiful intro that has been created by our man Voodoo for this new season of KRL. And we'll be back for the race start right after this.
Welcome to Kid Buyers YouTube channel. I'm the first. more than a race.
Just wait.
Welcome to KRL.
In your screen at the one time. Oh no! Look at this! Harvey Norman looking to make moves on Mighty Murph, but I reckon Barnes is going to make him pay. And he sticks it down the moment. Cartoon almost sends Wilco off, but Wilco manages to keep his foot in the championship. But the new boy up to P5. Look at that, he's trying to break the slipstream on the main straight. But he is under pressure here. Great effort from Static Hats. First, second, third, fourth, and fifth all together. Speed's got a run on him. Is he going to make a move down into turn one? I reckon he is. Down the inside, he's basically fully sending it. The final corner, he will take P7 I reckon, but Jimbo and Rob Dog, he's going to get his first points of the year as well. Who's going to take?
It's time to go racing for KRL.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. We do apologise. We had some technical difficulties there, but we are racing here for round one of the new Tier 1 KRL season, and it's Mighty Murph. Look at this. First, second, third, and fourth. Right down to fifth, sixth, and seventh, all together as we come on to hang us straight for the first time. Wolfie, a nice clean start, but look how close they are.
Look, it was a bit of trouble with Barters and I believe Albert into the first corner. We both missed it. We both happened to blue screen at the same time. But I'm just sitting here looking at the top five, and they are within half a second of each other. Then there's a second group. Well, Matterford sort of stuck in between there trying to catch in. But then we've got a second group with Binger and Ridey and OG trying to get up there. The top five have been swapping positions maybe 5 times in the last lap. So it's strong up the front.
Very close up the front as my dogs pick the worst possible time to begin barking. But look at this 45-minute race. Hello to you, Julia, Sparky, Voodoo, and everyone else in the comments there. Your man OGT down in ninth, but the pace is hot to start the new season. It's Mighty Murph under all sorts of pressure, and Wilco down to third as well. You did make mention of that, Wolfie. And then it's Senna up into fourth. Ayrton Senna sempre, and then it's Glenn in fifth, who is showing all sorts of pace towards the end of qualifying. But the top six, there's nothing in it at the moment, as we're still seeing here Mighty Murph. Look on your screen now, first, second, third, fourth, fifth, down to this man in sixth, all separated by a second or so. There is absolutely nothing in it, and go Binger. Thank you for that, Luke. He is on the Bingerling train. Binger down in seventh. Your man not too far off of the lead battle. But, gee whiz, it's going to be difficult for these guys. All of the pressure at the moment, Wolfie, is on Mighty Murph, as we see Cartduke looking to make a move down the inside, but he can't quite get through there.
And there's a bit of spin. That's who's gone off there. That's Mighty Murph. That looks like he's had a spin. He's come off. That's put a blue screen on my TV.
And that is not good for anyone's business really, but Mighty Murph, I've still got pictures here, Wolfie, while you sort that out, my friend. But Mighty Murph, who was in the lead, having a moment there, coming through Maggots, Beckett's and Chapel, or on the way into those corners, and now he is down. Well, he's behind Binger now, so he must be down to 8th. And don't forget, of course, the driver of the day. Thank you for that, Voodoo. But it is Wilco back in the lead. So it's Jason Wilkinson, our reigning champion in P1, number 1 in P1 here in the Porsche. And then it's Cart Dude right behind him. So Cart Dude must have had a moment as well in sympathy there with Mighty Murph. But now it's Senna up to 3rd position. And you're spot on, Voodoo. This front pack battle is insane. In fact, it's so close right throughout the field, down to Barters there in P11. Prince Albert, we might, it's hard to take our eyes off of this lead battle, but we might take a look at the drivers lower down the order. It's Prince Albert there in 10th, OGT in 9th. Hang in there, your man doing very nicely. He's got a long way to go though, Sparky. Righty in 8th. Mighty Murph now down to 7th, under pressure from Righty, who has a moment. He goes off the track. And good question there from GRT. Oi! He says, who's going to be the first one to send it, Wolfie? But this lap 2 of this race, still 40 minutes remaining. Wilco looks to be checking out ever so slightly at the front, but this is a hot battle for the lead at the moment. In fact, right through the field, isn't it, to start this race?
Look, and they're going flat out, which is interesting because the way that the tyres burn up on these cars, there is going to come a time where someone is going to have to get into some tyre management.
So it's all about tyre management as I spill my water all over the desk. But anyway, I'll let the missus clean that up because it's all about this race at the moment. Wilco now leading by 1.3 seconds. You just felt that once he got into some clean air, his pace, you said it, about the pace there, Wolfie, but it's going to be interesting to see how they use their tyres. And is that Senna up to 2nd? Or is it Glenn? That battle, look at this. They're almost 3 wide, heading down Hanger straight into Stowe. Don't forget about Cart Dude, who's going to go down the inside. And does he get the move done, Wolfie? They touch. Oh, that is close.
Oh, no, that's not gone well.
And that
has not gone well.
That has not aged well at all because Cart Dude, who's now into 3rd, I reckon Glenn is probably the big winner out of that one, but it's still very close here as we come through to end another lap.
Senna's come through there. Oh, this is. I've missed the incident itself, but it goes to show you that these guys are trying really hard. The tyres are going to start playing up very shortly, and they're just. The track temperature's picked up. No, track temperature's the same, but it's gone from 24 to 26 degrees, so anything's going to go up here.
As my wife just kindly messaging me saying sorry about all that crashing and banging out there. She just killed a huge spider. Usually that's my job, but it's good to see that she's taken care of business out there. But talking about taking care of business, Wolfie, this man, our man Wilco, our reigning champ, is 3.1 seconds in the lead as Voodoo says the mid-pack battle going on is absolutely insane. As Big Shep, Big Alan Shep from Scoresby in Victoria, he says, is that right? Did I hear correctly that Wilco is in front? You sure did, Big Al. And I'm sure Big Al is tuning in probably from Simbad's Bar down there in Scoresby or Huey's Bakehouse. Great sponsors of KRL in Season 1. Haven't heard from them again in Season 2. But if you're out there...
You mentioned them again, how very kind of you. That was very well done.
We certainly did. Just a quick plug for them. But Glenn in 2nd, Senna in 3rd, lap 4 of this race. And Cardi into the pit lane as well. So an early stop from him, Wolfie.
Okay, well, he might have had trouble with tyres, or he believes that there's going to be something that'll work for him. Only Cardi will know, unfortunately. We can't ask him, but he probably wouldn't speak to us anyhow. The midfield battle is intense. Mighty Murph's just come off again. So he's facing the wrong way on the circuit.
So
up there at Lee Beckett's, he's come off.
So I'm just trying to see. Mighty Murphy's all the way down in 9th, and it's quite incredible to think that he was leading this race, wasn't he, not too long ago, Wolfie? But now he's down, he's gone, hasn't he? He's off. I
believe he's gone into the netherworld.
He's disappeared. He's disappeared off of my screen there. But a big Kia runner to Mighty Murph. I think that's goodbye in Maori, but anyway, we don't want to offend anybody, do we? But Wilco,
No, that's probably not the best.
2.8 seconds. We might leave that there for the time being. Big hello to all of our fans in New Zealand. And Murph spins. Righty just missed a big collision. So Voodoo, our man on the ground. Ted Kravitz, Voodoo taking on a Ted Kravitz type role in the pit lane. As Big Shep says a very, very big hello to Spider-Woman, not Spider-Man. And have we missed an incident somewhere, Wolfie? Has someone else gone off?
Yep, Manafort had a moment, and Albert just managed to sneak around behind him. So we've got our man from Babinda. OGT is starting to catch the pack. He's probably the only person who does sim racing north of Brisbane. So he's come back up into 7th. We've got Righty down the back behind him, and then Bart is last of all. Someone's just come off again. This is getting... It's a race of attrition, I believe it was called once upon a time.
Yes, as Sparky's just piped up in the comments saying, Trev, get the pen out. I was able to hear your commentary and the drivers in qualifying. So let's sort it later. I'm not sure. Does he mean is there something wrong with the audio? Let us know in the comments. As someone who's checked in there as, hey lads, big hello to who's that? I can't quite see who that is. But anyway, Mighty Murph says, hey lads, here we go. Sorry, it's a bit of a delay.
Again.
As somebody's off again. Sorry about that, folks.
Albert is having a lot of problems. He's off again.
As Prince Albert, as where is Prince Albert?
Out of Chapel. He's just come out of that chapel and sputtered up.
He's taking that. I think they use that sort of the shorter version of this track. I think that's where Albert was going.
It's where they connect the
where they connect
to the loop.
Yeah, the shorter version of the track, I think. But there we go. So Albert now is down in 9th, but big moment there. Sparky says, no, it could disturb the drivers. Yes, I think that's what he meant. Yeah, I'm with you now. I wasn't with you then, but I'm with you now. Thank you for that, Sparky. But lap 5 of this race. Well, we're only 12 minutes in, Wolfie, but there's been plenty of action, hasn't there? The pressure, the pace has been insane so far.
I think the tyres have an awful lot to do with it. These guys, some of these guys haven't had a lot of practice in the GT, and they are loose as buggery. They truly are. Without the traction control, and like I said, there's less that you can do on these cars to set them up. So it's a lot more throttle control. It's a lot more brake control than you're used to in the top end of the GT3 field. So you need a lot more talent, and speaking of which, Albert's gone around. Not to say he hasn't got talent, but he's having trouble with that Porsche altogether there.
As Martin Brundle would say, running out of track and running out of talent there. But the great man Martin Brundle, God, I miss the F1, but we've got KRL, which is the next best thing, probably a bit more exciting, or definitely more exciting than F1, that's for sure. But there we go. He says, I'll communicate with OGT after the race. Mighty Murph says, oh, how good was turn 1, lap 1? And then it all went to shit from there. But thank you for that, Murph. Great to have you in the comments. I guess we've lost him as a driver, but we've got him as a viewer.
Bit of trouble, and that's a bit of bad luck there for Murph, I'm afraid.
And sounds a bit like, was it Frank Spencer, as we see Albert come into the pit lane there? Had a bit of trouble, Betty, as Albert coming into the pits now. So, well, he's gone off more times than... Yep, you watch the pit lane, I'll watch the track. But I guess he's gone off so many times, he might as well make a pit stop just to get it out of the way there, Wolfie. But 32 minutes left in this race. He might as well. He's sort of got nothing to lose down there, does he, I guess? He's still on for a point.
Not really. And with the amount of people that are having troubles, it's still not a guarantee that this is how it's going to stay. We've also got pit stops, possible safety car, although the gap between the drivers now is pretty extensive, except for Manafort and Senna Rest. They're on top of each other.
So the battles, yes, Senna and Manafort, that is the closest battle. Well spotted there, Wolfie, on the track. That battle for 4th position. The lead, well, it's changed hands, a couple of times, but Wilco has it at the moment. And
he's losing pace though.
And he looked a little bit out of shape there, didn't he, as well, coming out of that corner. So Wilco, like you said, it all might come down to the tyres. If you are new to KRL, you can see Glenn is keeping him honest there, isn't he, Wolfie? He's not too far behind him, so that's interesting. That lead only 2 seconds now, down from about 2.83 seconds, I think it was, not too long ago. So Wilco, just under a little bit of pressure here as 15 people, 15, if you don't mind, joining this stream and watching us. Big hello to you if you're new to KRL. It's great to have you on board. And gee, they flirt with that. They flirt with that corner, don't they? It's It's interesting to see whether all four wheels are on the track there, but anyway.
Yeah, it's again, with the left-hand tyres starting to heat up, you lose that traction if they overheat, and you just can't keep it as tight as you'd like to keep it.
And as Senna, we've got this battle on. So Big Craig has checked in at just the right time to see this battle for fourth position. Who is going to be the braver of the two between Matterford and Senna? He may need some Senna moves here coming on to hang us straight from Maggots, Begets and Chapel, but it is the closest battle on the track. OGT doing very nicely as well as Voodoo, the Nigerian prince. He says, let's hope the pit stops will hopefully bunch things up. Good question there. If you are new to KRL as well, it is a mandatory pit stop in the race tonight. 30-minute races for Tier 2, 45-minute races for Tier 1, and Senna! Oh my goodness, he goes through and up into fourth place, Wolfie. Great move from Senna there.
Fantastic move. Got Matterford right on him again. So, and Senna is now ahead. We've still got Barters and Righty and OGT down the back. OGT is just coming out of the pits. So OGT, like I said, is probably the furthest north sim racer we have in Australia. He's also spent 20 years tuna fishing. He was a bit of the deadliest catch guy, so he spent a lot of time with seamen.
And he's got plenty of experience in that department, but I've got to just cut in there. Look, it looks like Senna's had a bit of a moment here at the start of this lap. Wolfie and Matterford is right back through, but these two boys, no quarter given between them, that's for sure, because they are just not giving an inch at the moment, but they're making a few mistakes. It's been a bit of a scruffy lap for these two, hasn't it? And all the while, 4.7 seconds off of my Bingerling in P3 as GRT, as says Go Glenn, chase down that Volkswagen King. Voodoo, LOL, Sparky, Coral Trout, get it right. He says, get it right, Wolfie. He's
considering that comment, the biggest problem is the type of fish. Okay, no problem.
Oh, big Darryl Loose used to love a big bit of fishing. But 28 minutes to go in this race. And I've got to say, Senna, this still is the closest battle on track. We've had 3 drivers make their pit stops. And we've got, 6 or 7 who have not made their stops yet. Speaking of making a pit stop, Wilco has not made his stop yet. He's still out front, and that gap has increased just a touch. Glenn, I don't think he's made a mistake, but still Wilco back on the pace there, Wolfie, so that gap close to 3 seconds. And now Matterford up to third as Binger is into the pits, so this is going to be interesting. I think, where is he going to come out?
Tyres are going now, boys, tyres are going.
Yeah, I was just about to say, it's getting towards that time of the race where if you haven't looked after them particularly well, it's now or never, really.
And Sparky there, he says he was a gun for years out of Cocktown, not Cooktown, Cocktown. That's easy for him. Good stuff, Sparky, as Binger comes out into, he's come out into some clean air, hasn't he? He's not really, he can just run his own little race. I'm just having a look on the track map there. I think Cart Dude might be the next driver. No, he's 50 seconds further back. So Binger in a pretty good spot here. Could he go for the undercut? We saw last night in Tier 2, actually, it was the overcut, Wolfie, that seemed to work more than the undercut around this track.
It was, but I think that's also got a lot to do with how the race started off. It was a bit messy through the middle of the pack there. A few guys came off. So that gives the opportunity to get that overcut happening. But it's starting to spread out a little bit, the pit stops. A lot of these guys haven't practiced their pit stops. It's a very, very short pit entry. As you come out of the last corner, where you're so used to cutting it and lining it wide, you've got to stay in close and hit the anchors. So there might be a few mistakes there that could cause a couple of stop and goes or something along those lines.
As we have a look, we are right across this Voodoo. It is Senna and Matterford. This battle continues here. And what a battle it is on lap 9 of this race. It was Senna, then Matterford winning out, but now Senna is back behind Matterford. We saw them both have a scruffy lap last time around, but it looks like he might be a bit far back. Is he there, Wolfie, to have a go? He doesn't look quite as close as what he was, and I don't think he's going to get much of a slipstream either as we head down Hanger Straight once again. But like you said, things are sort of calming down, I guess. So we had plenty of action in the opening 1 or 2 laps of this race, but things calming down now. Still 4 drivers, only 4 drivers have made their pit stops, from Kart Dude in 7th right down Binger, OGT and Fat Albert down there in P10. We are running an F1 style points system. We don't have a point for the fastest lap though, I don't believe. So Wilco leads though still on lap number 9. We might just recap here if you're just joining us. First race of the new season, Tier 1. The pace has been intense, and now, unless my eyes deceive me, Wolfie, that gap...
I made a little mistake. The rears are gone, so I might pit next lap.
Bono, these tyres are gone, Bono. And then he proceeds to set 3 fastest laps in a row. But he is under he's under purple sectors, Wolfie, but he's under all sorts of pressure here. And Glenn is ready to pounce.
Well, look, if Wilco gets this pit stop right, he should come out just in front of Cartoon, I believe. I'm just trying to do maths, which isn't easy. He should come out in front of Cartoon, definitely in front of Binger and OG, but that puts him in a lot of strife because he'll have those boys on his back. As
we see it's going to be interesting to hear where Wolfie this strategy call here. Glenn coming into the pits. Wilco, you heard from our reigning champion, the man leading this race on your screen at the moment, and he did say those rear tyres are going, and it's going to be interesting to see whether Glenn can get the undercut as
Glenn Unit's gone too far in his pit. He's had to back up.
And he's just reversed into your car there too.
Was that Glenn? Did that?
Yes. Yep.
He's kind of he's overshot. Well, there we go. That's the end of the undercut. So Wilco, I was about to say that was going to be very close, wasn't it? If Wilco's tyres are gone, Wolfie. But
we're also assuming that Wilco's going to nail the pit stop, and he probably won't. So that might give Glenn Unit an opportunity as well.
Well, it also was really relying on the fact that Wilco could be foxing a bit too.
He's gone around. Yeah.
Oh, my tyres are gone, trust me.
Bono, my tyres are gone, Bono. Bono, these tyres are... Yeah. Come on, guys.
We've heard this. We've
heard this before, and then he's continuing on, isn't he? So 23 minutes in this race, 10 laps gone. The rear tyres were gone about 2 laps ago. But Wilco, yep, I think he's...
Oh no, he did just step out there.
I think he's seen what happened to Glenn, as we see Glenn come back out in 5th place as the cameraman just
is he behind Cartoon, or is he
catches up? No, Cartoon's a long way back, or is he? No, Cartoon.
Yeah, Carty's behind Barters, so Glenn's catching up with Barters.
So as we take a look,
he's a little bit tight there on the fresh tyres, and that's the other thing, Trev. These things come out. In the GT3, the top part of the GT3, the tyres are pre-warm, they're not track temp hot. And in the Porsche, from memory, they come out cold. So you've really got to be careful for that first 1 or 2 laps that you don't wind up throwing yourself into a wall.
And you just have to wait, don't you, Wolfie, until that grip's there, the temperature's there. It does take
leaders in the pits.
A little bit of time as our race leader, reigning champ, the number 1 from P1, comes into the pits. So let's have a look here. Matterford in 2nd, Senna in 3rd, as Wilco just matrix style there through your car, Wolfie, into the pits. I think it all looked very good. As guys, last night's cars were different, so under and overs could make a difference. Thank you for that, Sparky Voodoo, up and about as well. 4 drivers remaining to pit. I think that's only 2 now. So GRT says stay at Glen for just for 2 more laps. So a bit of strategy there for Wilco to think about, but we don't have to keep looking at Wilco in the pit lane. We'll go back to Matterford and Senna. Righty's also pitted as well. But this is, well, effectively now the lead battle, isn't it? These 2
That's
guys
correct.
Yet to make their pit stop, though, Righty. It's going to be interesting to see Righty as well is a little bit further up ahead there, so they do have some traffic, but Righty's a pretty handy peddler. I don't think he's going to worry them too much.
No, he should be fine. They should catch him in a nice spot.
Cartoon's come out in the lead, so it's going to be the chase on again.
And, well, Kart Dude's come out in the lead. Interesting stuff. Our timing screens, of course, don't update instantly. Or Wolfie, do they? They sort of update...
Oh, that's Senna gone around. Senna's gone around the pit lane. I beg your pardon to interrupt there, Trev, but he's gone around.
And Senna's spinning! Spin, spin, spin! Round, round, round he goes! Sorry, I had to say that. Every time he spins, it's customary. Sorry to cut in there, Wolfie, but well, that is an awful shame, though, Wolfie. That is, well, he was in the lead, wasn't he, or battling for the lead at least, and now it's.
Yeah, he was right behind Matty, and Matty's now got himself a fairly decent gap to really get a hold of what's going on. He won't have any problem with Righty in front of him.
So Righty not going to be an issue here. In fact, I think Righty's just pitted, so he will be on those fresher tyres. So no issues from Righty, who is down in 10th. He is in the final points-paying position as Manafort into the pits. So our race leader now into the pits. The last driver to come in to the pits, Voodoo Manafort. And, sorry, I beg your pardon, we do have Senna to pit, which he's going to do now. Sorry, I sort of assumed he would come in this lap after giving his
I'll keep an eye on the boys in the pit lane
incident. So you keep an eye on the pit lane. How good is this man, Wolfie, doing? Commentary debut, one of our Tier 2 guys has just joined the commentary box for tonight, working absolutely beautifully. Great to have you along, Wolfie, tonight. Great stuff, and great to have everybody along watching this race here tonight. The first race of a new season. A few pre-race nerves. Some of the drivers were very nervous coming into tonight, myself included. A few pre-commentary nerves as well. But we absolutely love it. Where else would you want to be, like I always say, on a Wednesday or Thursday night from 8 p.m. Eastern Time, as Senna into the pits as well. Thank you for that, Voodoo, as Bjorn says, hello, gentlemen drivers. Long time no see. It is good to have you back, Bjorn, on the stream. Hope you're keeping safe and well. As
Manafort is exiting the pits now.
Oh, so this is going to be...
Here comes Senna as well.
So
he's not too far behind him. Senna seems to have stalled in the pit, so he's come out a little bit slower.
So Senna, just a little bit of a delay there. Looked like he stalled, like you said there, Wolfie. So things going from bad to worse for our man Ayrton Senna, as Wilco now in second, Cartdude in the lead. So how good has this worked out for
OG's
the
had a spin.
Taswegian? As, oh, don't tell Sparky that.
OG hasn't had a spin.
And thank you, that's better. Just tell them what they want to hear. But
sure.
Everything's
fine.
Everything is beautiful. And there we have it. Everything looking good there. Sparky just said, I'm back. So you didn't see anything, you didn't hear nothing.
Nothing happened here.
Nothing happened, OGT.
My lord, everything's fine.
Oh, everything's going to be all right. OGT in 7th. Barter's now up to 6th. Haven't called his name too much, but he's up in 6th nonetheless. And Senna down there in 8th. That is disappointing for Ayrton Senna, because he was looking the goods there. And Wolfie, you suck, says Sparky. Just keep your language, keep that language family friendly if you don't mind, Sparky, as I had to approve that comment, and that is not something I want to do when I've got 3 different displays, 4 different sets of information coming in, and 4, 5, 6 windows open on my PC, so having to approve them is...
Yep, whereas I'm just sitting here in front of my big screen TV, and my wonderful wife, Kat, has just bought me a SodaStream 7-Up. So I'm flying here, mate. It's all happening here.
Very nice, says Sparky. I'm not going to approve that one, Sparky, who says 3 words, and the first 2 start with F and O. Rearrange these great Australian words in their proper order. But 15 people now watching the stream. Let us know where you're watching from, as I might actually do what I'm paid to do, and that's keep an eye on this race. But anyway, I was sort of stuck on.
This is a paid gig now. Excellent.
Oh yeah, we well, we still have to talk about that in the next TV streaming rights deal with Wilco. Anyway, if I can't really say if I double my pay, I still don't really get that much. But Cartdude is leading this race, and this is an interesting time at the moment with 16 minutes left in this race. So, well, we're over half race distance, of course, Wolfie. So things settling down now. All of the drivers have made their one mandatory pit stop, as Voodoo, Manafort or Glenn for my driver of the day so far. And Big Bob Hoskins, stop everything, Wolfie. Big Bob Hoskins, the suave Englishman who lives in Perth, says, hey chaps, he's joined us for a new season. And 2100 hours, Sparky. thank you for that. Yep, he's obviously on the eastern seaboard, but Voodoo, Bob, welcome. And how good is this? Our man Bob Hoskins, who I found out he was an Englishman, Wolfie. He sort of sounded, by that name, he sort of sounded like someone who would come over and, a plumber or a tradie who would come over and fix the kitchen sink and maybe try and fix the wife up as well. But it turned out he was an Englishman from Perth, but it's great to have him along.
Perhaps have something to do with cartoon rabbits, maybe. I'm not sure.
So there we go. Look at Cart Dude here, lap 13, Sparky OGT mid-pack. He says, that's very good from OGT. It sure is, Sparky. Wink, wink.
It definitely is.
And nice and clean race from OGT. Nothing has gone wrong. As Sparky says, hey, Bobby, Bullseye Bobby, how are you? And 15 minutes now remaining in this race. And as Murray Walker would say, let's take a look at the drivers lower down the order. In 8th place, Ayrton Senna. In 9th, it's Prince Albert. And he won't be too happy heading back to Monaco tonight, but still Righty. Not quite sure whether Righty's going to be too happy with this race, Wolfie. We expect better things from our man Righty, but he's still in that final points-paying position at the moment. He's on his own down there.
Yeah, he's on his own, but if he'll also get some decent knowledge out of the car. He won't have to worry about any battles. He'll be able to just get up and find out what he can and can't do, which is the thing about the first race, at least with these guys, when they're not having to worry about any challenges, they can understand the vehicle a lot more.
And can be sort of, I guess, used as a bit of a testing session as well, like you said, get a feel for the cars. Absolutely. And every point counts though as well, doesn't it? Right down series. To it's a long season, 10 races of course, as we crisscross the globe. No, I said a bit like David Croft, but oh my goodness, we've hit record numbers now, Wolfie. Record numbers, all thanks to you. 16, sweet 16, and we certainly are on the home stretch now. As Bullseye Bobby says, dead right with the nickname, and Big Shep says, I said to Wilco with the number 1 on his car, he is going to be a marked man. And Big Bob Hoskins saying, yeah, good buddy, lost track of time. How's the race been until now? Well, there's been plenty of action, I've got to say, hasn't there, Wolfie?
And there's action starting to pick up again. I don't know how long since you've been at the front there, but Carney's looking a little loose, as it were. Wilco is catching him hand over fist now, 1.4 behind him. But Glenn is actually picking up Jason as well. So give it another 3 or 4 laps.
202.2s in a row. Sorry to cut in. Yep, and Cardi's in 204s, so he's definitely struggling to tie at that early pit stop, remember?
Yeah, and I know Glenn's...
But yeah, he's going to put up a good fight. Here we go.
Yep. These top 3 guys are going to catch up with the next 2 or 3 laps for sure.
It's going to heat up in the final 12 minutes of this race as we ride on board with Jason Wilkinson. And I think he can smell the blood in the water. Look at this coming down the Hangar Straight once again, lap 15 of this race, and it's the Tasmanian under all sorts of pressure here, Wolfie. You can hear it, cue the Jaws music as he's trying to put him off. I don't think it's going to be too long now, Wolfie. That gap is down to a second as, my goodness gracious me, we've hit 17. Holy Jesus, booyah! And let's see if we can get that up to 20. Hope you're enjoying this wherever you're watching right around the world. Oh, Big Dazzle. Oh, Big Dazzle would love this, that's for sure. But look at this. This is the battle for the lead. My goodness, those comments are going off. Bjorn Voodoo, Bjorn wants to know if Murray's still alive. Yes, he certainly is. Fantastic stuff. And he would be loving the home of motorsport here at Silverstone, or Silverstone, as Bob Hoskins says. Glenn has been pretty good so far. He certainly has. Aussie Thunder, I think that is, says hi guys. Boy, Aussie, oi, you couldn't pick a better time to join us here, Wolfie, because this battle, with 11 minutes to go, it's less than a second, it's less than half a second, and Wilco just having a cheeky look. Where can he get this move done here?
The thing about Silverstone is, if you've got the balls, you can move it anywhere, but usually you're looking at, say, into Village and the Loop, you're trying to duck into the inside there, maybe into Brooklands or Vale, but if you get a decent enough run out of Copes, you can actually get through Maggots and Beckett's and into Chapel, but you've got to have a big set of testicular fortitude.
Thank you for that, Bjorn. He says he's mentioned James Hunt. As look at this, you need big balls. That's right. Yes, thank you for that, James. But Wilco and Cart Dude, our reigning champ and the man from Tasmania, are side by side going through Maggots and Beckett's. And 2 doesn't go into 1 there, it would seem, Wolfie, but Wilco gets through. But now Cart Dude's going to be coming back at him here on the hanger straight. Look at this, Cart Dude, there is nothing in it. Glenn saying, yeah, don't forget about me down there in 3rd, but Wilco has the lead.
We know you're there, Glenn.
And we know you're there, Cart Dude, around the outside. Are they going to make contact here, Wolfie? It's mighty close as Wilco just holds the lead. He keeps his nose in front, but Cart Dude all the way from Tasmania. It's, you know the drill, it's a public holiday down there in Launceston. And if he wins tonight, but Jason Wilkinson just leading this race, and imagine what sort of pressure is he under at the moment. We won't throw down to him. We know he's in the party chat, Wolfie, but I'm too scared to ask him anything at the moment because this battle is intense.
The classic, oh, sorry, I'm in car with Cardi. He's got right up on the back. The thing with these two guys fighting too is giving Glenn an opportunity to get up on him, and Glenn is right on him now. Oh, Cart trying to go inside. He's, oh, no. Glenn Unit's gone round. He's given that a little bit too much now.
So we've, Glenn is in the gravel trap. That is not good for him. I think Binger might be somewhere back there, but we're going to go back to this lead battle as Plum Boss, hello to you, Plum Boss, says he gets a hard on for Cup Cars. Too long next to go, says Sparky, and Wilco with the best lap of the race. I think he did mention that, Wolfie, with 2:02s
yes,
there or thereabouts. So Plum Boss says a bee's dick between them. It could be even less than that at the moment, but Wilco's back into the lead for the time being. Take him out, Cart Dude, says Sparky. Take him out.
Cart Dude's gone very wide.
Well, Cart Dude, the only thing he's going to be taking out is the number 15 Thai Green Chicken Curry, because he's gone off the track, and that is not going to help him at the moment. But Glenn, after that off as well. Speaking of drivers going off the circuit there, Wolfie, he's now 11 seconds off of this lead battle with just 8 minutes left in the race.
Yeah, it's put him out of touch, and it looks like the car's pretty loose. He's now got Bigger that's going to catch up to him, so he's got to keep an eye on his rear view mirror as well. But Bigger looks a little bit loose. This late in the race, the tyres are probably just complete rubbish at the moment.
So,
yeah,
well,
but Bigger, my teammate from Tier 2, he's put in a good effort. He stayed nice and clean, so it should be a good little finishing up here.
So what was looking like, well, it could have been any one of 3 possibilities for Glenn, first, second or third. If the first 2 came together, is now looking like, it's still looking like a podium. Binger, he's just maintaining that gap back down there to Binger. I can't take my eyes off this lead battle, though, at the moment, Wolfie. And for everyone watching at home, we haven't got to 20 yet, but we've got 18 people watching this stream. And it is great to have you with us. First race, new season, season number 2 of KRL, the Tier 1 boys. And boy, oh boy, have we seen action aplenty here tonight. And we've still got, 2, 3, 4 laps to go, I reckon, in this race. 7.5 minutes remaining. It is Jason Wilkinson, our reigning champion in the number 1 car, leading this race from Cart Dude in second. And then it's Glenn down there in third. You can see Binger still with his eyes on a possible podium finish. Matterford as well, who's had his issues in this race, but he's still in P5. Barter's in 6th. OGT, who has had a clean race there, Sparky. Nothing going on at all. And then it's Senna further back. Nothing to see here. Move along, folks. And then it's Fat Albert in P9 there. So he's still on for 2 points all on his own. And then it's Righty, who's given up the will to live, I think. There he's in the pit lane, and he's 2 laps down.
He's got it. Well, he's got a point for 10th. Why go any further when you're 2 laps down?
So, well, he
take the points and learn a lesson. I
think, is it the same as we head back to the lead battle? Enough of Righty in the pit lane. I'm sure, is it the same as F1? You have to complete 75% or something of the race to...
maybe.
Sure,
I don't know. We'll work it out.
I'm sure we've...
I'm sweating bullets here.
Jason might tell us. So,
probably
Cart Dude's picked up another few seconds, a few tenths, so it's going to get closer again.
And we might, so we'll leave that one. Probably not the question to ask Wilco at the moment. We'll leave that one. Probably not high on the priorities list for our man Wilco. But lap 18, as Sparky says, the OGT army did not condone Sparky's last comments. Wow, Sparky just replying. He's leaving messages and replying to himself in the chat there. That's good stuff. So he's having a party there.
It's been a big night, obviously.
It's been a big night. Obviously, I can't quite reach my keyboard, Sparky, to type back to you, mate. It's all happening here. But with less than 6 minutes to go in this race, I've got to say that Jason Wilkinson leads it, but just by 1.1 seconds. And I've got to say, if you go off last season's pace, Cart Dude was struggling a touch, Wolfie, if you remember, but he is straight on the pace, isn't he? Straight out of the box this season.
Excuse me, yeah, sometimes guys just find an affinity with the car on a track. Silverstone's a tough track. It's so fast with two really, really very slow points, and then you're on it again. So maybe he's found the right groove with this car and this circuit.
No better feeling than being in the groove, and you can tell that Cart Dude is in that groove. But I tell you what, speaking of in the groove, so is this man, the number one, Jason Wilkinson, flashing his lights there from Carrum Downs in Victoria. Big hello to everybody in Carrum Downs. We know they'll be watching this. I'm sure there's more than 15 people in Carrum Downs, but a big hello to you now. 19 laps gone. We've lost someone off the back there. I think Voodoo's left the session. No, he hasn't. Sorry, I beg your pardon. We've lost somebody. I'm not sure who it is, but anyway, we've lost you. We've lost you, and not for the first time tonight. We've been.
No, it's been a disappointing night.
The blue screen of death has struck you a few times. Hello, you've popped up again there.
Yes,
But
there I am.
here we go as Jason Wilkinson. Everybody in Carrum Downs on the edge of their seats. We'd like to acknowledge everybody in Carrum Downs, past, present, and emerging. But at the moment, it is Jason Wilkinson. What the bloody hell am I going on about, Wolfie? I'm not too sure, but I've got to say
Neither
that.
am I, but that's okay.
Anyway,
It's
we'll just go with it. That's what KRL does to you, as Cart Dude goes awfully wide there, Wolfie. That is not going to help him here to have a go at Wilco on this lap. I think he might have lost a couple of tenths there to our man Wilco.
He has, and what have we got? 3 minutes. Where we got 2 laps. Where I can't think where we are on the circuit. We've got another 2 laps to go. Wilco's looking pretty tight, actually. As soon as I say that, he looks a little slippery there. So it's all on Cardi to put the pressure on him. Glenn is a comfortable third. He should be fine. Maddie's good fourth. I think everybody's sort of pretty much just settling in, except for the top 2 guys. It should still. It's only 9 tenths. It could happen.
So anything can happen.
Oh, it's closer now. I do apologise.
It is. It's very close. Just as you said that, it's less than a second. And my man Matterford says Bullermeister is catching Binger. Oh shit, Binger left. Voodoo saying Wilco holding the best lap of the race with a 2-minute 02.340. And don't forget to vote for your driver of the day. Of course, tonight, plenty of people watching this stream. Get your comments in. Who do you think? Is it Wilco? Is it Cart Dude? Is it Glenn up there in P3 tonight? But keep your votes coming in, and we will announce them next time around. But 20 laps gone, and I've got to say, Wolfie, you said about Wilco being tired, but surely these drivers, they're under enormous pressure, aren't they? They've got to be feeling it. There's only 2 minutes left in this race, but they've got to be feeling it at the moment, don't they?
It's a very bizarre sensation because you understand that you're sitting in your living room looking at a television screen, but it is intense. These guys do practice a lot. The game is that good that you have the ability to understand what is wrong with the car. And I'm just back to the racing. Bugger me. These guys, Cardi's right on Jason's tail now.
And I was just going to have a quick look at that battle there. Senna and OGT, I think, having a battle of their own. But it's all about this one. This is the business end of the field. It's Wilco, but Cart Dude, he's a lot closer this lap. He went wide last lap there, didn't he, Wolfie? But now he's 7-8 tenths of a second closer as Binger. He says, I'm shattered. Had a blackout with 2 laps to go.
Binger.
And there we go. Won't be...
Good luck next time, Jamie.
Rick Oz, hello to you, Rick Oz Tech. Won't be
he's gone
righty.
wide.
What happened there? Voodoo, that's rough. Luke, that's a shame. Binger, and say hi to the kids, say hi to the family. Binger, it is a real shame, mate, that we lost you there, mate. But stick around because the final minute and a bit of this race is going to be intense, that's for sure. And Sparky says, I'm no tech head, but I think I found a back door. As look at this cart, dude. I've got to ask you, Wolfie, it's coming down, really is coming down to the business end of this race now. There's, what is there, one more lap to go, I reckon, in this one.
This should be the last lap.
And
Leaders on final lap now.
there we go.
This is the final lap.
So Chris Gales confirmed it for us. The Universal Boss says the leader is on the final lap. Don't blush, baby. And this is the final lap. And Cart Dude, where can he get this job done, Wolfie, with 1 lap to go of this race?
I really don't know. I guess so. This is a pretty tight setup here. Where we come to, maybe the loop, or it's really, where Jason went through Nuggets and Beckett's. It might be an opportunity there. It's basically balls out and pray. If you believe in a God, now's the time.
As was it Sterling Moss interviewing James Hunt? Big balls. That's right. Wilco and Cardi in centre, and OGT to the line will stick with this lead battle as Cart Dude runs slightly wide there. But we've got, it's a bit like that, isn't it? We've got no fingernails left. I just don't want to be, I'd hate to think what Wilco and Cart Dude are going through. OGT and centre as well. Don't worry, Sparky. We will get to that battle eventually there. But there we go. The time is up. So this is it. It's down to what, roughly half a lap between Jason Wilkinson. That's all that stands between him and the season opening win here at Silverstone to kick his championship defence off for KRL.
Cardi's lost it there.
But Cart Dude's the only one that can do anything about it, isn't he, Wolfie? But he's just had a bit of a moment there, so he's dropped back that gap now 0.4 of a second. But is he?
He's going to fill Wilco's mirrors. He's going to flash the lights. He's basically just going to pressure Wilco, put the torch on, and see how it goes. Oh, Wilco's had a bit of a slip there.
Wilco and Cart Dude. And that'll give Wilco the better exit. Coming out of this corner, I can feel your pain. Jesus, how good is this? It's great to be back. And all right, we'll keep it.
That is going to be 2/10.
And it's
Leader has finished already.
there we go. He's done it. He's done it. Jason Wilkinson. Boy, if you thought he was sweating before when we checked him, we checked in with him.
OG's on.
And
got past OG. OG's right on the back of Senna.
And look at this. So the battle for the lead is finished, and but it's not finished for Senna and OGT. OG was hanging on, and OGT. Oh, is he going to come back at him here?
He's got the balls to accelerate quicker out of here.
There we go. Can he get it done, or can Senna hold on to sixth? OGT
He's put that tyre in the rear.
runs out wide.
Well done, the man from Abinda. Well done, Senna. That's a great set of racing.
And great racing there. He had his issues in the middle part of that race, but Senna comes home in sixth, OGT in seventh. And I think that was Wilco, but Fat Albert there in the pit lane. And well, so what do we have? 11 or 12 or so drivers started the race. Only 7 were running, I think, at the end of that one. But holy damn, what a race. And well, that's pretty much sums it up. Don't forget your driver of the day in the comments section. That would help us out an awful lot. But boy, 22 laps of absolutely incredible racing there, Wilco. And in the end, it all came down to 0.4 of a second.
Fantastic work. It was kind of weird. It was all crazy, and everybody was sitting behind everybody for the first sort of quarter of the race, perhaps, which is odd in a 45-minute race. But there you go. And then it sort of spread out throughout the middle. But after pit stops, a couple of spins, a couple of offs, not big offs, but small offs, it put everybody down. And the tyres really were a factor, which is great. It means good racing. You've got to not just go fast, you've got to be quick, and you've got to be clever with your tyre work.
And great
now
stuff.
I want to show you how much grip these tyres do not have anymore. Go on board with me and just I'll show you how easy it is to spin.
And whilst you're using the rest of your tyre life up, we're just getting...
Wolfie, can you add Glenn and Cart Dude to the party, please?
Yep, so
yeah, well, Voodoo, can you do that?
Aussie Thunder says, good finish, guys. Voodoo says, Glenn or Senna in my book. So many drivers deserving of the driver of the day. Bullermeister says, well done all. Great broadcast as always, mate. Absolute pleasure to bring it to you. But as Wilco's just drifted in there. As,
Oh yeah.
Look at that. He's just getting a bit of sideways action happening there. Sparky has got his vote in. Surprise, surprise there, Wolfie. OGT for driver of the day. So
Of course he does.
no surprises there. Nice and clean from Sparky, who did go off to make a cup of tea during the race there, and he came back
Where nothing happened.
where nothing-
Absolutely nothing happened.
Absolutely nothing went wrong. 20 people watching the stream. We've reached the big 2-0 here, Wolfie.
Thank you very much to all those who decided to join us for the evening.
How good is this? And well done from Big Shep down there at Sinbad's in Scoresby, Victoria. He says, well done, Wilco. You are the man. And you can see there Wilco doing the donuts. Very reminiscent of Sebastian Vettel. Remember these times, guys. They won't last forever. I love you guys. I love you guys. And as soon as I've done the Sebastian Vettel impression, we're down to 19 viewers. But there we have it. Final race results on your screen.
Some people just don't appreciate a decent impersonation.
No, they don't. You'll hear plenty of them here as we wait for our top three to join the post-race driver interviews. Cart Dude will be speaking in English and as well as his native language of Tasmanian as well. So stick around for that. But Wilco, we'll start with you, mate. Well, you got the win tonight, mate, but well, it didn't come easy for you.
Yeah, that was seriously hot work. Those 45 minutes felt like 3 hours. Oh, I'm sweating bad, but yeah, good race with my good mate Brody. So that was nice there. And Glenn definitely caught me up in that first stint. So yeah, we'll move on to Brands Hatch next week for a sprint round.
How far were you into the race when your tyres started to become unstuck?
It was probably around the 10-ish lap mark. It was very easy. Like the car just went from like when they were on worn tyres, went from like wanting to spin on a knife edge, which I'm sure Brody had for the last like good half an hour there because those tyres were being torched. But as soon as you put new tyres on, it's yeah, completely different. But that's one thing for the learning book, and yeah, move on to next week.
And so when did you, and after the second pit stop, when did you start losing your tyres?
Pretty much, I was pushing hard.
Really big deal in this race.
Yeah, I was pushing hard to catch Brody. So once I passed him, I had grip then, and then once I started having to sort of defend a little bit, you're sort of getting off the line, you're sort of using a bit more of the tyre, that's when it started to go. But after that, it was just trying to stretch the gap, which wasn't happening. I was trying to save it, make sure I don't spin like Kyle Army last season. So yeah, that was good. That was
got a decent enough gap in that first section of the race, and I don't know what happened, but I don't know whether you slowed down or Glenn picked up his pace. But
I had a big moment.
Over fist. Okay.
Yeah, after the hangar straight at Stowe, I think I turned in and then turned left, and then turned right, and then turned left, and then went through the gravel for a little bit, and got back on the track.
Actually, the way the track goes. So
yeah, I thought I would try some rallycross in the Porsche, but yeah,
sure,
no good.
If you've got the time, you've got 4-second lead. Why not try rallycross?
Car 2 time. Cheers, guys.
Well done. Thank you for that, Wilco. Perfect start to the season for you as we move along to Car 2. Can you hear us, mate? Have we got you there?
Yeah, g'day.
Well done, Cardi.
Can you hear me though? That's the question.
I can hear you.
Yep, loud and clear. Well, Car 2.
Yeah.
P2 in the end, mate. Talk us through it. That was an intense battle there at the end with Wilco.
Yeah, holy shit. Well, I wasn't expecting really to come out near him, let alone 6 seconds ahead of him. So when I came out 6 seconds ahead, I was like, fuck yeah. But then I realised, well, that means his tyres have dropped off, so mine are probably going to. And boy, did they ever. So what I think helped actually is once Wilco passed me, I had his slipstream, which seemed to be worth a fair bit straight away. So I was kind of able to just hang in there, but I was hanging in there myself because I had no tyres. So I nearly crashed every lap from lap 15 onwards. So
from the outside, it looked like you were quite comfortable, but the closer you looked, it looked like a clinic. I mean, you and Wilco looked like you put on a clinic, but the closer you look, you realise that it looked very, very sketchy at every corner.
Yeah, it was definitely also, well, it was surprising how fast they dropped off, but it was also surprising how much of an undercut I made. So that's Yeah, it's definitely good to know. Definitely good to know.
So
about that.
the tyres in the Porsche, they come out cold as opposed to the GT3 racing, correct?
They come out like
I'm pretty sure
not
they came out
stone
hot.
cold. They come out hot,
Yeah.
but their pressures are low. So the first
Sure.
few corners of Maggots and Beckett's is pretty sketchy on the
Yeah.
first lap.
Everything,
But yeah,
everything Trevor and I saw was that out of the pits, the first couple of laps are sketchy at best.
it is there, definitely very sketchy. Yeah, they come out on hot type, but by the time you actually get into the corners, they sort of drop a bit because the pressures are low. But
Yeah.
still,
So,
it's definitely sketchy compared to GT3 cars. I can tell you that.
I ran off the track like the second sector, for instance, missed the braking zone. So it is a bit sketch, but good fun, mate.
Fantastic.
Great
Well
stuff.
done, mate.
Awesome result there, Cart Dude. Thank you for that. P2 in the end, mate. 4 tenths off, but everyone in Tasmania will be very happy with that. I don't think we've got time for you to say a few words in your own language for everyone down in Tasmania, but we'll move along to Glenn. Glenn, have you got us there?
Yes, lads, have you got me?
Certainly
Yes,
have.
Glenn.
Crystal clear, my
Lovely.
friend. Talk us through your race, mate. Good finish in the end. You happy with that? Is there any more you could have done? You were close to that lead battle before you had a bit of a moment there late in the race, mate. Talk us through how it all went for you tonight.
Yeah, so I'd caught up to Jason in the first stint. He had the moment that he was saying, and I was going for the undercut, but I just completely bottled my pit stop. I think there was a car parked in the right in front of my pit box, and I just overshot it by like a full car length. Quickly hit the reverse and got it back in, but it lost me a good 6-7 seconds. So that's.
I wonder who that car could have been, but as I'm just looking at the pit lane, I'm looking at the pit lane now. Was it green by
Yeah,
any
it was
chance?
a bright green, yeah, fluoro green car.
I seem to have a problem with my microphone and my speakers at the moment. It seems to be an issue.
It's all good. It's all good.
Yeah, that's right. So we can deal with it next time.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
were right on top of Wilco. You nearly had him, and it basically just the tyres went on you, or I mean the pit stop was disappointing, but you seemed to handle everything fine.
Yeah, the tyres I seen were fine through my stint. I really didn't have much tyre wear. Like I did notice, like Wilco was struggling with his tyres a little bit. I was running a lot less downforce than the coach Dave, with only like 4 rear wing.
Yeah, I was at 8 or 9, I think. Yeah.
Yeah,
Big difference.
I was trying to get a bit of speed down the straight, which I think was helping with the slipstream.
Sure.
But that spin, I don't know why. I must have put a bit of throttle too much on. It just went, and I didn't have any chance to stop it. It just split second, and I was gone.
Seems to be the trouble with the Porsches. Well, not the trouble with it. They're a lot more difficult to catch. So there's sort of becomes a certain point where it's hello, good night, grass, sky, wall.
That's right, yeah. So I didn't hit the wall, luckily, and I've managed to get back on the track before anyone caught up to me, but I think by that time I'd realised there's no chance catching up to the leaders, so I just sort of putted, made sure I had enough fuel to finish through the race.
Outstanding work. Well done, top 3. Fantastic drive from Wilco, Glenn, and apparently me, as I can see there. But
P3, mate. Why don't take it?
Well done, mate. Yeah.
Great stuff there. P3 in the end, Wolfie, all from the comfort of of sitting in your lounge room there in front of the big screen TV. It's a bit like me commentating football many years ago. I'd be calling the wrong player's name. He'd be sitting on the couch and he'd be getting about 50 possessions. But anyway, that's a story for another day. Big thank you to everybody. The numbers were absolutely crazy.
So much. Fantastic.
Weren't they? Good.
Mate, Wolfie, I reckon he's earn a call up next week. What do you reckon, Trevor? I reckon he's done a ripper job.
He's a little bit too good, I reckon. He's might be just...
I think,
Round of applause.
actually, boys. Can we give a quick shout out to someone? I think OGT's grandma's watching the stream at hospital. On your gran.
Howdy.
On your gran.
Big hello to
On
you.
your gran.
OGT's big hello to you, Grandma out there watching the KRL stream. But it's been absolute Absolutely incredible. Great pleasure to bring this to you. Thank you, Wolfie, mate. Great, all seriousness, great commentary debut tonight, mate.
My pleasure. Thank you for inviting me along, mate. I've had a fantastic time. I look forward to Brands Hatch.
Been great to have you along, mate. Brands Hatch next week, of course. As you can see on your screen, Tier 2 Wednesday nights, Tier 1 Thursday nights. How good is it to have a brand new season back of KRL? We were away for a little while, but we are back. And we're having plenty of fun along the way as well. So don't forget, next week it is Brands Hatch, like you said, Wolfie. Like we said, Tier 2 and Tier 1 Wednesday and Thursday night, 2 nights a week for KRL. But we are just about out of time. Thank you again, Wilco.
Yeah, thank you both, and yeah, well done to Glenn and Brody on a good race.
Great
Well
stuff.
done for Voodoo and his safety car work. Excellent.
Yes, Voodoo, you were there, mate. Hopefully we might use you in 2 weeks' time with no safety car at.
I hope
Yeah,
you're
Brands
paying
Hatch.
my Nigerian friend the taxi fare that we paid out to get in.
And Voodoo.
Outstanding.
Voodoo's still waiting for that money into his account there, Wilco. He's not sure whether he still gets paid. But anyway, that's all we've got
left it
time
in the
for.
lobby. He's left, so he can't get it.
There we go. You're too late. But thank you, Shep, Voodoo, everybody who commented and took part in the live stream. It was great to bring it to you. We're almost out of time. In fact, we are out of time. Stay safe. Be kind to one another. Don't forget to social distance. And we'll see you next week. Bye for now.
Oh, fuck it. Should be a penalty.